pitching in the B game today. Have you liked what you've seen from him this spring and kind of the developments he's made?
I have liked what I've seen. In fact, I told him today, earlier, just carry that into the game today. I like the pace, tempo. He's in a good place right now. And he's got a good look about him, and so he's got 3 innings of work, and go out there and just do your thing. So, unfortunately, I won't be there. I'm going to stay here for this game, but it's good to get him out there for 3 innings.
Where is it, Urania in your mind?
Where is he?
Like, how's he doing?
He's throwing well. You know what? We have a lot of pitchers that are really doing a nice job on the mound. He's one of them. His last outing was a good one. I'm looking forward to watching this one, see where he's at. And playing, on the A field here, he can sink it. He's got a good slider. He's got experience. So I'm looking forward to watching him.
Do you guys see him as a starter or a long guy?
Well, I think he gives you an option on both. He's done both. So, to be honest, it's more staying open-minded on that one. But the fact he has done both, that's always nice to have.
You've talked about how the pitchers and how well they pitch this spring has kind of been one of the highlights for you. That kind of, you guys brought in so many veteran guys. It kind of feels like it's kind of gone according to plan in terms of having guys to pick from.
Yeah, it really has. In fact, it couldn't have gone better, to be honest. I think our guys have done a great job of bringing some NRIs in here, guys that would be competing, and not just competing, but guys that we think can help make us a better team. And these guys have done all they can to be on this club. The way they're throwing the ball and makes for difficult decisions. They always tell you that's a good thing to have until you got to make those calls. But no, and we do as a group. But no, some really good options that we're looking at here. Because we're just a little over 2 weeks now, so we're getting somewhat close, and these guys are really coming together well as far as the pitching staff and how they're throwing the ball.
How open is it? How open is the bullpen? You have 4 guys that are going to be in the back, but are there 2 spots? Are there 4 spots?
Yeah, we're keeping it competitive. I'll leave it at that. As far as number of spots, I think you're looking at more than 2, to be honest. So we're not ruling anything out. We have young guys. They're throwing the ball well. We have experienced guys coming in here and throwing the ball very well. So we have multiple inning guys. So we're going to try to get them as many looks as we can, so we make the right calls.
Seems like Church has been kicking some ass.
Yeah, Church is really throwing well, isn't he? Yesterday was impressive what he did. He's been locked in from day one. It's been cool to watch this guy's progress and how fast it's been, with as long as he's been pitching. But he's got poise out there. He's got stuff. He throws strikes. He's going to be a nice option.
So he's never been on. He has zip MLB experience. That you think he's poised enough to?
Oh, I do. I think what he's showing now, yeah. This kid, he's he's got a good look at, out there. You see him, man. You love the focus he has and the command that he's had. Again, with the guy that doesn't have a ton of pitching experience, so when you have that kind of command already, that's a gift.
What have you seen from Brockberg this spring?
He's throwing well too. Berkey, made a, he did make an adjustment. He shortened his arm delivery a little bit. He's not quite as long in the back, and I think it's helped his command, and stuff has actually ticked up, and so get back to where he was a couple of years ago, which we saw. There were times we saw that last year. There were times when it wasn't there when he came in. And so I think he's done a good job of working on things that he needed to work on this off season. And I'm talking about, just, tightening things up a little bit to help his command.
On Leote, I know you said you want to get him a lot of right-handed at-bats. Are you just kind of prioritizing the experience of that right now over the results kind of in spring? How are you weighing what he's been doing?
Yeah, he's still trying to find it on both sides, to be honest. It's evident. You're looking at him. He's leading off there today to try to even give him hopefully another at-bat. I like that at-bats against the lefties as far as the movement, how quiet he is. He's not getting results right now, but again, that's why we're here. We saw this early, and then we saw how hot he got. So, he'll figure it out, and so he'll keep getting his at bats on both sides. But I'm amazed how many lefties we've seen early in camp. It's incredible. These guys, it just seems like every time they're out there, they're facing left-handers and. I put kids out there, Ortiz, for example. It seemed like every time he came up, he had to face a lefty, but it's been good for our guys to see all these left-handers.
I guess speaking of, have you liked Evans at bats against lefties too? It seems like he's got a few more hits.
Yeah, I have. He's getting more and more comfortable, and that comes with reps, and we said that. So, no, it's going well with him.
We've been encouraged by Josh Smith and his at-bats.
Smitty has really taken good at-bats, taking his walks. He's driving the ball. He's really looks good here in camp. He's a guy that has had to see a lot of lefties too. But today we're going to see some really good right-handers in the B game and of course starting the A game.
Going back to the bullpen, I guess all four of your high leverage options are right-handers. Are you fine with that?
I'm fine with that. Kennedy, I know, gosh, I go back to, I think, 96. I didn't have a left-hander in the bullpen. So, you just sometimes, Houston, for example, they've done it for years without a lefty. I believe in going with your best arms, and good righties get lefties out. So I'm not a guy that has to have that matchup. Even though it may show that on maps or whatever, but you get the right guy out there, you're not going to take him out for a lefty.
And then Foscue, are you guys pleased with what he's doing at first base?
Yeah, he's just a couple games, but he's made all the plays. He looks comfortable. He's not shy about playing off the bag, I can tell you that. I looked out there one time and said, hope he knows he's playing first, not second. Because I didn't know if he'd get there, but he did. And but that's good to see that because guy hadn't played a lot of first. He wants to hang around that bag, but he's not one of them.
Because the bat's been good.
Bat's been good. I tell you, these kids cram too. I mean, it's good to see them come in here and swing it the way they have. They've looked good against some pretty good pitching too.
Crim's minor league numbers are fantastic.
Yeah. The ball he hit yesterday, that was off a tough righty. He smoked it.
Coach, what stands out to you about Dane Dunning this spring?
Dane's been good. He's working on a couple pitches that he talked about. Well, one pitch in particular, but he feels good. I think Dane's close to being where he needs to be. He got ambushed in his last game, but healthy. Dane has such good command, so. He's where we need to have him. Obviously, you want that consistency to get better and better, and that's why spring training is so long. It's for the pitchers, but he's on pace to be where he needs to be.
How many forkballs did you face or have to catch during your career?
You know what? Not a lot, to be honest, but I did have to catch some pretty good ones. Joaquin Andujar was throwing one, and Yeah, just didn't see it that much, to be honest. You know, but they were around. But you know, on our staff, we didn't have a lot of fork ballers when I was young. But one of my teammates changed his whole career was Mike Scott with New York, and then of course he goes to Houston, and so it's a big pitch. Okay.
So Jack's getting his turn today.
Yeah, I got bumped yesterday because of weather, so he's going to start the A game today, and John will go to the squad game. But so he's set to go. We're all looking forward to watching Jack. You know, the little bit that he has thrown, I think he's looked good. Now we just hoping he carries that into today's game. And, but he's in a good place right now.
How many innings are you going to throw?
I think 3.
He's still in the hunt for a roster spot. I mean, he's still here.
We're open-minded with everything. Yeah.
What would you like to see from him to be able to potentially make the roster?
Yeah. Kennedy, same, you know, what we're looking to see from everybody, and that's throw strikes, quality strikes, and, you know, get all his pitches over. And, you know, that's never going to change. You know, I hate to cliche that, but it is. It's what we look for, and these guys have done a terrific job of doing that. And I've been really, really happy with the starters in the bullpen. For the most part, that's what they've been doing, throwing strike one and attacking, and you know that's what we're looking for Jack to do.
You had Evan in center field the last 2 days. Is that just giving him reps kind of everywhere to see how it goes?
Yeah. I don't want to leave camp without him getting some action there because Leo's going to need some days off. You know, Leo was in the B game yesterday. He's off today, but he'll be in center field tomorrow.
Coach, I know it's not a new rule, but I guess they've talked about emphasizing the obstruction rule at the bases. And you know, I know you played in an era where you use your body to protect the base at all costs, but I also know you had a catcher who, different situation, but was involved in a play that I guess they're trying to avoid now on the bases. I'm just curious your thoughts on, is using your body a part of the game? Do you like that they're trying to emphasize giving runners lanes, or I guess your thoughts on just their desire to start enforcing that rule?
Yeah, and I think they've done a good job of adjusting with this rule, because initially it was any kind of obstruction, then it was going to be called. Now they're going according to the rule book, and that is a rule. You know, can't block the base without the ball, whether you're at first base, second base, third base, or home. So I was glad to see that instead of calling every play, because there's times when inadvertently you're blocking it because of the throw. So this is going to work fine. I know there's been base runners that have, I guess the best word is complained. Somebody's blocking up the bag, but it's always been part of the game. It's what I grew up. I mean, I was a catcher. Obviously, he's at home plate. They made the change there. The risk of injury was, I thought, a lot bigger at home plate. But the dropping the knee on the pickoff throws at first, or guys stealing at second, I'm fine with it. There's going to be some pretty heated arguments on this one, I think, because it's not reviewable.
What do you remember getting? What's your worst collision when you were a player?
God, Kingman one time, my first year in '78. There's a fly ball to Denny Walling, a sac fly, and he threw it home. So he threw a high. It wasn't a one hopper. So I'm reaching up like this, and I could hear Kingman snorting coming down the line. So I know I'm going to get hit, because you had to get in front of home plate. And I wore glasses then later I went to contacts, but you know, I was picking up stuff all over the field. It was a garage sale, and but that I wasn't hurt or anything, but that was a pretty good one. But yeah, I took a helmet in the mouth one time. That wasn't a lot of fun. You're so vulnerable. You're trying to catch a ball. You're blocking a play. They're barreling down on you, and I took a helmet full on. That wasn't fun.
Who was the bastard?
Next through. It was in Double A. I don't. He's a big left-handed guy. I forget his name, but just how you played, and it wasn't fun eating the next 2 or 3 weeks. I know that, with your lips all split up.
No bologna sandwiches.
Too much sodium.
Coach, is Nate Lowe okay? I know he's going to be in the lineup yesterday, I think, or whatever. He's all right?
We haven't said anything.
Nothing's been said.
Oh. Nate has an oblique strain, so he's going to be out for a little bit. So he won't be in the lineup today or for a little bit. Reevaluating him on a daily basis, but it's going to be for a little while.
Okay.
That oblique, you know how that goes.
We say a little while, like could be week. We're talking maybe weeks, not days. Is that or?
It could be, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
His opening day in jeopardy.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's fair to say when you're talking about oblique strain.
How does that, I guess, impact what you guys do these next few weeks in terms of?
Well, we just finished discussing it. We'll continue in the next 2 weeks. We have candidates in house. We'll get time there. I mean, you start with Walsh, who's been having a good spring. You got Foscue, Duran. I'll try to get him over there. Smitty, Krim. I don't want to leave anybody out. Wenzel played some first, so all these names have been discussed. And the one thing I'll add to that is last year we had a lot of this. We lost guys, and you hate to see it, but this team did an incredible job of just focusing forward. Hey, we'll move on and and keep it going until we get Nate back. All right.
That's Barry's
Thank
lead
you.
right there.